strap yourself in!
Find me another plate. Attitude, what you got? A fucking attitude. Right, you know what I'm going to do today. Is create the illusion that I'm pretending to be boring when actually I am boring. Well, just by talking like this, it pastes on a little bit of meaning, doesn't it? As if like I'm really boring and like, you know, and that's really funny, innit? I'm like boring, but I'm actually boring anyway. I'm just caricaturing it. I'm just exaggerating the fact that I'm boring. But you all know I'm sad and boring anyway, so it doesn't matter. So it's all meaningless at the end of the day, isn't it? Really, to be quite honest with you.
There's some real science to this shit.
So if we maybe come full circle and just talk normally, and that just means I'm boring, and then there's no need for any well, maybe we come full circle in a different way, because then we say, well, maybe I should be boring, maybe you exaggerate it just to kind of give that extra little bit of zing to the proceedings, right?
Enjoyed it. The sense of flying through the air, sense of being the fastest human on the planet.
Yeah, you can get tunnel vision and you just like in the zone.
So what I'm going to do, what I've done is I've come down to the car park. The Lorburn car park was full, so I ended up having to fucking do a wee U-turn to come out of the car park, but then I had to do a wee reverse as well, and then that was a wee bit stressful, but then I just centered myself, I just came back, so I'm fine. So then, because the idea is to not be stressed, because as an athlete, what you have to do as an athlete, it's like a Formula 1 car, everything's on the limit, so you've got to be very I'm not moving my camera down just because you've got a bump and you're pregnant and you're in a car park. You're in a public place. I can film. You got into my, so you know what I mean. So she can't complain. Yeah, you know. So I didn't need to move the camera down. I was filming the empty space. She walked into it, so it's not my fault. Take me to court then. I'll fucking take you on. I'll fucking win. I always win, even when I didn't, because you know. So then I left the car park. We interrupt this this episode is sponsored by McDonald's coffee. They didn't do very well because the bottom's a bit soggy there. I don't know whether that's the cup being slightly letting the dampness through, or whether that was just them and their preparation of it. They also didn't put the milk in, but first world problems, yeah. This is my treat for the day, though, you know, coming out for a coffee, because I'm skipping lunch, you know, and that gets us back to what we were talking about, doesn't it? With the, we were talking about, what we were talking about is the athlete, as an athlete. There's loads of stuff, there's so much stuff I could get into. So much stuff's happened, right? So much stuff's happened. Even though, and that might sound boring to you, but it's actually in the life of an athlete. Even I'm not a professional, I ken that. Fuck you, I ken that. So shut up. Leave me alone. Better than you. Ricardo's better than you, so fuck you. Fucking have you on. Have you on? I'd take you on. I could beat you up any fucking climb in the region, so didn't give me any of your shit. You're fucking hard sitting there with your passive aggressive, you know. Now there's Dave gone live again. I've said it a million times. I'll do this a fucking 1,000 times until I've no friends because I enjoy it, right? So if you don't enjoy it, get the fuck off my page, you fucking loser. You know what I mean? You're the loser, Dave. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Fuck you. Anyway, getting back to what I was going to say, there's a lot I could talk about, right? In the life of an athlete, right, it's very difficult. Or not difficult, can we get our thoughts together instead of just like, you know, going at 1,000 miles an hour and going at 1,000 different tangents? Can we actually stick to the point? Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in with me. Let's do a meditating. No, let's get back to the thing. I was talking about the fucking life of an athlete, right? Even if it's an athlete, even if it's an amateur, an aging amateur that's going nowhere, right? There's a lot to explore just in that, with the whole self-sabotage thing, innit? And let's make excuses because I'm shite or whatever else, right? But let's bring it back to the point. I was talking about like being an athlete like that. It is a very touch and go thing. You're teetering on the edge of sanity as well if you push it too hard. But you could explore a lot in that, couldn't you? But in terms of like being a Formula One car, you're on the limit, so it's not a comfortable position to be in. You know, the times when you're not, especially as I've said before, if you work a physical job like I do, it's a very fine line. How do you use the work with a cross training element to help you rather than hinder you? It's a whole fine line, and we're all guilty as athletes of overtraining, and I've been guilty of that. You know, because it's a very you're on the edge, you're on the limit, and you didn't want the burnout, you know, because it's not a comfortable position to be in. You have to have trained enough to have lifted your level, and then you have to have rested enough so that you can perform well in the day, right? That segues us into the next wee bit where we're talking about, you know how before I said on my Facebook that I'd entered a couple of hill climbs and I'm going to enter 4. Well, one of them, the Glasgow one, incidentally, I missed the cut-off date for it, so we're not doing that, but we're doing at least 3. Maybe 4, maybe 5 if I've got enough money to travel, because it costs a fuel these days, but the National Hill Climb Championships on the 30th of October. So if things go, if you know, if we get on a nice wee roll, might do that. Might go to the Bank of Mummy, you know. Mummy, can I have some money so I can go to the National Hill Climb Championship, because I never had a childhood like Michael Jackson, and now I'm trying to make up for it by doing all this stuff that I would have done before if I wasn't fucking broken and fucked up in the head. Yeah, but Dave, you're fucked up in the head anyway. Yeah, that's true, but in a different way. You can, I mean, like, so we've entered 2 and we're doing 2. 1 tomorrow is on at Lanchester. It's Peth Bank. I've done it last year. I only came like 19th or 30th out of like 40 odd or whatever, but you do find that these open events are very competitive because it's like very good cyclists that have turned up to these events. You're getting like the top kind of, and plus, you know, so it is a difficult thing. So as I say, getting back to the point about, like, you know, having to be wrapping yourself in an electric blanket, in a metaphor, like you're walking around, even on my days off, right? Even on my days off when I'm not training, I feel like, oh, I just want to lie down doing nothing and just, and even like walking around the town, you feel vulnerable because you're, as I say, you're on the limit. You didn't want anything taking you off that kind of focus, right? Obviously, you didn't want to be focused the whole time. You got to be able to relax, right? But you just got to watch what you get yourself into, you know? You got to watch yourself that you didn't get distracted, because you can get distracted and then it pulls you off your focus and your thrust of what you're trying to do, because a lot of it is in your mind. A lot of it is visualization. You know, like I'm just fucking, nodding off on the bike, aren't I? Having my little hero in visions, putting ready to stick the needle into the red, That's clever, that, innit? I fucking came up with that myself. Didn't see any other fucking local poets coming up with this shit, do you? Nah. Putting a fucking needle into the red as a fucking, go into my, endorphin bubble, as I say, like there's the exercise junkie that I am. Do you like I kind of changed the wording of it all, Ken? That's improvising, that's great, that, isn't it? And that's what a lot of the thing is about. Maybe that I was watching a Google talk, right, and it was talking about improvisation, or no, it was a Google talk talking about doing something different, breaking up the routine. I've got into a rut with a routine, and you could explore a lot with that in terms of the training and everything, right? And that's how my performance has kind of plateaued off. That plus overtraining, which I've alluded to before, which anyone that's paying attention would have seen that, right? But this Google talk was talking about going out of doing something different, breaking it up, like going into different territory. Like if you normally watch these type of film, the algorithm pulls us into that shit mud, doesn't it? Like you watch Game of Thrones and every fucking suggestion will be to do with shit fantasy things that you're like done with, and you want to just watch a cheesy romantic comedy just to kind of do some research, like do a job interview just for a laugh. No, when they like Thingaby and Trainspotting, when they intention of getting a job, just do it for fun. Just to break up the routine. Go in a different area than you normally. Go and sit in the fucking opposing teams, and sit in the away teams. Put on a different scarf, and enjoy that from a different angle, just for a laugh. Do your research, something different to break it up. That's what you need to do as an athlete, is training and everything. Can I just say, just me talking is getting me going. That's a skill in itself, isn't it? Just me kind of doing the stream of consciousness that I've done for ages, and you just get better at it. You just kind of, you work yourself up into a frenzy. That's what Graham Bree said in his book about creating your own little mini universe, and then you create you cause a little mini tantrum just by, lighting that fire yourself. Light my fire, light my fire, light my fire. Okay, I mean, like, you just light that fire, get yourself going. That's what the whole athletic performance is about, is built as, psyching, is building that, meditating and all the rest of it, getting into that space and everything. You got any questions? No, I know. And so could talk about a shitload of stuff, but it's all quite exciting, it's positive energy. I'm talking about constructive things to help me. It's like Dear Diary, so it's all very good, this. It's just I'm just jamming, like, with some jazz musicians now, aren't I? There's nobody around, but I'm doing it myself. It's quite cool. I'm just jamming with a fucking energy around, just whatever comes to mind. It's quite great, that, isn't it? Is that what all that know thyself shit is about? Being confident with your own self and what you've got to say, and then when you go and then you add yourself to a relationship, you've got something to give, or anything. That's quite good, that, isn't it? Incidentally, that's usually one funny thing, right? My ex, I contacted her and then I just blocked her, right? So there you go. And there's a lot to explore in that, isn't there? She basically, I felt sorry for her, but I'm no, so that happened. Anyway, back to the athletic thing, right? Let's come back to, reality, no just talking generally, but which I could expand on, but, it is like a meditate, like when you're no training, like today, the plan is don't eat lunch, right? Don't eat lunch, Dave, right? That's why I had the wee coffee, just to give me a wee buzz, so I've got something going on. But if I'm not exerting all the energy, the porridge will keep me going until dinner time. No joke, because my mitochondria are in such fucking brilliant shape because I've done so much training, and my lungs and heart are so healthy and expanded, and I call them mitochondria. Mitochondria, your little energy burning factories, that are little fuel cells in all parts of your body that burn fuel for energy. Well, mine are fucking brilliant because I've been training them so amazingly well, so they're all so great. So what I'm doing is, on the days off, I don't really need lunch a lot of times because my body's so fucking brilliant at burning energy, so I don't need to eat anything for lunch, And this isn't a matter of starving yourself, like losing the weight. You know, some of you might have seen my gold glittery scales on Facebook, right? A lot of the losing weight thing, right? It's not starving yourself, it's the opposite. The reason why you lose weight, by the way, training, there's a lot to explore with that as well. I care about that. I'm on the cutting edge, I know this shit, right? The reason why you lose weight isn't burning calories, no. Training increases the quality and the number of mitochondria in your body. So then you're good at burning energy basically. So you didn't, in your whole, you know, your whole, I can't express this in like the proper podhead language, but that, you know, your metabolic health basically is improved. You know, things that will fuck up your metabolic health are smoking, drinking, eating processed foods, sugar, stuff like that. I'm not doing exercise, but because I exercise, because I'm trying to eat a healthier diet, because I tried to not smoke, I do smoke occasionally just for a buzz, just for a thrill, just to, again, just like break it up, you know, break up the fucking routine, just like everyone else, you know, everything in moderation, including moderation. So sometimes I go crazy with stuff like that, right? But I don't drink very much, but occasionally I do, because I've made pals, so I have to do something. Now, I do have pals, but I just don't see them that often, Ken. But, you know, it's all kind of balance, you know, but, you know what I mean? So I try to lose weight. That's what we're talking about there. I'm trying to lose weight, and it is kind of working. But I kind of got sidetracked, and I was like, oh, fuck this, I'm gonna eat dairy milks, you know. So you got to don't be too extreme, because then just like the if you're too extreme with anything, it just, the pendulum springs the other way. You end up rebelling. So, you know, you enjoy a little bit of what you love, what you like, everything. That's what I've tried to do. So the weight is kind of 11.5, and I think I might get to 11.3 by tomorrow. And then after the hill climbs, I might have lost a bit more as well. But anyway, bring it back to what we're doing. Tomorrow we're going to Lanchester near, it's a wee bit towards, where is it? It's down the motorway anyway, and it's, so we're doing Peth Bank, first hill climb of the season, and Peth Bank. It's quite steep. I looked it up on Strava. I've been doing my reviews, kind of like, you know, revising for exams. I've been looking at my past stuff and looking at and comparing it with the efforts that I've been doing myself to compare where I'm at and everything, and just to get a fix on things. And this time off today, and me talking now is good training, you know, because it's getting me prepared, getting me rested up, getting me in a good spot, you know, and it's the arousal, as I've said before, as the Steve Backley said, and old cultural reference. But what the fuck else would you expect of me at my age? Of course I'm going to use, but things are some things are timeless. That's why I keep mentioning Graham O'Brien. Some things are timeless. Like you wouldn't say Mike Tyson. You wouldn't not mention Mike Tyson when you come to like great heavyweights, or, you know, Evel Knievel, great daredevil. You know, a lot of the folk are just, he was the pioneer, Ken, just like the Beatles, Ken. You wouldn't say the Beatles is like old cultural reference. It's timeless, Ken. But anyway, tomorrow, Peth Bank. So we're going down to Lanchester. So how we're going to prepare for that, and we've got to get in the right frame of mind, so we're not overeating. We're not starving ourselves, no. But like I say, I'm not hungry, I'm fine. I'm just, no lunch, go to the charity shop, wee distraction, take the books to the... I'm not obsessed, by the way, okay, I'm not obsessed, but no, I do put a lot of effort into this shit, because I do want to do well, but I've been doing a bit too much. So when you see me do a bit too much, you end up like the burnout. And I've tried to like get a fix on things in a good way, to try and not be too extreme, because I'm extreme, but you want the best results, you know. But anyway, tomorrow, Peth Bank, down in Lanchester. It's a wee 1 miler, nice warm up and before it, and then we'll go and crank it out. And how we're going to do well is by resting up. So today we're just chilling, and this is ramping me up, and this is kind of stressing me out. If I talk about this too much, it will stress me out, right? So I don't even get too into talking, but I think what I'll do is do Lanchester the morning, and then then the day after is Ayr Dundonald. Last year, I was looking again back in my thing. It was a comedy of errors, right? I drove up to Ayr to do the Dundonald hill climb, and what happened? The chain set came loose when I was warming up, so it fucked me, and I was too late to ask for help and borrow someone's Allen key or whatever. But so that went pear-shaped, and also the Corbridge one, Prospect Hill. I got the wrong day, and I was down there on the wrong day, so I fucked that as well. So 2 of them went pear-shaped. So we'll try at least tomorrow. We'll recover, rest, not train. I was looking back again when I did the other one, the air one, and I was looking like 3 days before. Right, I fired up a climb, you know, the past Kilford Barns, that big long climb past Kilford Barns up the dual carriageway. And I fired it up that, and I got the KOM, the first place on that A75 climb. That was like 3 days before I'm competing on something. That was ridiculous. I'm looking back at, so I'm not doing that again. I've learned from that. Today we're just resting up. We're going the turbo trainer very gently, very gently. Small chainring for 10 minutes, 20 minutes at the most. Might do that tonight just to loosen them off. Because I've been working hard all week, gardening on my hands and knees, you know. And that tires the legs. So, you know, I'm trying to recover as much as, because I'm tired from a week's work. That's the problem, isn't it? It's like trying to fucking, as I say, that fine line, that fine balance. So, we'll see how we do. I hope I haven't worked too hard, because that's the problem. When I work hard in my job, as a physical job, I do always work hard, too hard, and then the legs are and it interferes with the cycling legs. So we don't want to be doing that this time. So hopefully I haven't worked too hard this week, but you do need fucking money to live, so I can't do that. I can't help it. You can't help the way you are, as my mother said. You can't help if you're a passionate, enthusiastic, hard-working, a grafter, disciplined, inspired, keen, whatever else, any other fucking synonyms for like actually giving a fuck about what the fuck you're trying to do, you know? That's what I do. So, Peth Bank tomorrow, Ayr on Sunday, and if it goes well and we're feeling enthusiastic, because there's petrol in the car, and I rarely have petrol in the car, I might just go on a wee fucking tour of the region and fire up some hills for a laugh, but I didn't want to kill myself in it in the ground, Ken, because I want to do other stuff as well. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, Neighbourly Right Time.
Maybe something like that.
Mm-hmm.